How's everyone doing? Real quick before the video starts, we hit 100 subscribers to the channel. Guys, I really appreciate everyone subscribing, watching the videos, and your comments. We are a small firewood company, and there's a million things that we still want to do, but just you wait. We're growing, the channel's growing, and we're real excited. So here's to our next 100 subscribers. On to the video. We have another load coming in today from a logger, and I am told that this is 100% beech. Kind of excited. Beech is an excellent hardwood. It's a nut tree, and I got a couple restaurants that love it. So we're going to show you the truck, watching him unload, and I hope you enjoy the video. So here's the economics of a log truck. There is roughly 5.5 to 6 cords on any of these tri-axles. If you are fortunate to get a full 6 cords out of it, you're looking at $100 a cord just in the wood. That's not counting your labor into making them firewood. Here's my thought on this whole thing. I think it really depends on your volume. It depends on what your goals are. If you are just making a few cords of firewood a year, you may not want to go this route. I think that the more volume you do, the cost starts to offset because you're able to produce this in the firewood faster yourself. And that would even be if you get free wood coming in from the tree service companies. These are real easy to work with, even with a chainsaw and a splitter. You can really go pretty quick on these. But think about this though, you're paying $100 just for the wood, you still have to make it into firewood. I think that makes an argument for driving out into the country and finding firewood already for sale, especially in the summertime. It's easy to find a cord of firewood for $150. So how much is that $50 worth to you? Is it worth all of the labor that it takes into making into firewood? When I was working with a chainsaw and a splitter, that's when it was wearing me out. My elbows, my shoulders were killing me. My back was hurting because I was just bent over on that saw the whole time. And that's why I really think that you can still get into the firewood industry in delivery and really not even own a saw. I think that you can still go out and buy it if you're good at maximizing the value of your firewood. I still think that you would want to have a super splitter, something that you can split bigger splits down into smaller. When you're buying firewood, you've got to be careful on what kind of species it is, how big the splits, if it's cut at a uniform length. If you want to maximize how much you get, you want to have consistent 16-inch, smaller splits, and your premium species, oak, ash, cherry maple, locust, hickory, even elm. Although I don't think elm makes a good-looking firewood, but it still burns nice. Even though I have a Japa, even though I'm buying tri-axles of logs, I still buy firewood already made because it just makes sense. When I go out on a delivery with my trailer, on my way back, if I know that there's firewood for sale, I'll stop at it and I'll buy it if it fits my business model, if it's the right species, if it looks good, if there's not much mud or mushrooms growing on it. Heck yeah, I think it makes total sense to buy your firewood. And that's why I think when you want to get into firewood, everyone thinks of, you got to have a saw, you got to have a splitter, you got to have a pickup truck. I think for the most part that is true. But you can still be a player in the game by just driving out and buying firewood already made. Here's where being a professional business, having a reputation, and having volume starts paying off. You can negotiate your price for these deliveries. If they know that you are a reliable customer, that they can show up at a moment's notice, unload, and still get paid. Even if I'm not here, they trust me enough where I can get them the money. That's when you can start getting a lower price for these logs, and it starts to make sense. Here's another thing that I've learned about these log deliveries. There are the two types of tri-axle trucks. The ones that have the crane in the back and the ones that have the crane in the front. This one obviously is in the back. Here's what I've learned. The trucks that have the crane in the back, they have to cut the logs shorter to get them to fit, and you wind up getting less wood than you think that you do. I have another logger whose crane is in the front, and I'm always getting so much more firewood made off of one of his loads, and it's because he can carry a lot of overhang off the back of it. So if you are interested in buying logs off of a logger, you know, when you're talking to him, ask him what kind of truck he has, and ask him, hey, is your crane in the front or in the back? I think that there's probably a half to a full cord less on a truck like this versus the kind that has the crane in the front. But speaking of beech firewood, I've read up on these in this area of Ohio, and it went all the way from Ohio up through Indiana, Michigan, all the way up into Wisconsin. It was called the beech maple belt. And I guess it's just the way that the beech tree and the maple tree back in the old days, before you know, the settlers got out this way, they would dominate the canopy of a forest. And the majority of the trees out here were these big, tall beech and maple trees. And now we're seeing beech is not as popular as it used to be in Ohio, but there's still a lot out there. Being honest though, guys, this is the area that I struggle with the most. I am not good at developing these relationships with loggers. I just don't know a lot of them, and it's just hard for me to find them. So I think, you know, there's some things that you're always going to be good at, some things that you're average at, and some things that you just got to improve, and you got to be honest with yourself. For me, this is the one part. I wish I had more connections with loggers and more relationships with these drivers, and that would help me drive down my costs, but also keep a good supply of logs coming in. I go through them pretty quick now with the Japa, and I find myself without logs more than with them. There you go. That's a full triaxle load. I didn't have all of the older delivery cut up yet. That's mostly maple, but we'll get this beech cut up first anyways. It takes a little bit longer to dry out. The sooner I get it split up into firewood, the better off we'll be. I was excited to see there were 2 hickory logs in it. I had them put these on the back end. I'll just go ahead and cut these up with a saw and splitter and get these done quick and get them stacked. I can sell this here pretty quick. A couple of the restaurants I deliver to, they don't care for their hickory to be seasoned. They said that they like it just as good green. So we'll give the customer what they want. So this driver is an independent driver. He doesn't work for the company. He's just hauling logs for him. I gave him 20 bucks as a tip just to be on good relations, because I think his relationship, he knows a lot of different loggers, and if he sees a good load that I can handle, he'll keep me in mind. But I ask him, when he unloads them, he keeps the butt ends of the tree for the most part on this side of the pile. That allows the log, it's balanced better when it's being picked up by the machine, and I can put a longer log on it. When the logging truck calls, the answer is yes. So my plan for the day has been blown up. I have a new load of logs. I got to get busy getting them prepped so that I can get them onto the machine and getting them stacked out in the drying yard. Busy day ahead. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's always exciting when the logging truck shows up. I want to thank everyone for watching the videos. I hope that you have as much fun watching them as we do making them. Make sure to like this video and please subscribe to the channel. We upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. Have a great day.